y'all need to stop doing this. Stop giving us prequels that introduce these beautiful women that are either long past their prime or long dead. Please, I can't be simping over graves, man. Come on, bro. What is going on, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. You already know what it is, and you already know what's up. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Pokemon Legends Arceus due to the fact that they actually shadow dropped a trailer just the other day. And that irritates me to high hell because I literally had a Pokemon Legends Arceus video ready to go. You guys are gonna get that tomorrow, or whenever this video comes out, you're gonna get it the next day afterwards, so be prepped. Anyhow, you know the drill. We're gonna be taking a big look at this trailer and dissecting every little thing that we see. And I find it kind of funny that I thought that the previous trailer for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was gonna have more than this would, but I was completely wrong. This has a lot more to cover, so we're gonna be talking a lot. Sit down, get your cocoa ready, or your breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you're having, and let's talk about this new trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Jumping right into things, why don't we talk about the first thing that they mentioned, which was riding Pokemon. During the dialogue, the character tells us that we should use our flute to grab the attention of the Basculegion. We play the flute, it plays that beautiful 4th gen sound that we all know and love when we first started up, and then it cuts to a few different shots of us riding all of the different Pokemon. Based on the context that we have here, it's very fair to assume that we're using this flute to get a Poké Ride situation like we did in 7th gen. It also kind of implies that we're going to be summoning wild versions of these Pokemon. I'm sure you can have them on your team, but you don't necessarily need to have them, so that's a good thing. However, the disappointing side of things is that this also implies that these are most likely the only Pokemon that are capable of these feats, even though we have Luxray and Staraptor in the game. But nope, we gotta rely on these other ones, so that's cool. Jokes aside, I don't really mind relying on these other Pokemon. I kind of want to get to know these new Pokemon anyway. But damn, man, is it really that much to ask to ride a freaking Luxray all over the place? Is it that hard? God, can't win out here. Anyway, one of the more important things to notice from this is the fact that when you're riding Basculegion, you jump up in the midair and then all of a sudden everything slows down and you're able to throw a Pokeball at a wild Pokemon before everything goes back to regular speed again. That sounds kind of familiar, does it? Oh, that's right, Breath of the Wild. It's very reminiscent of that mechanic in Breath of the Wild where you would jump off the horse in midair and aim your bow at something. Now, I'm sure that there are other games that have done it, but maybe you guys can name some for me because I certainly can't think of any. Long story short, I just find it funny to see where that mechanic was absolutely, most definitely, unquestionably inspired from. Like we've talked about a multitude of times by now, I'm sure, this is most definitely Pokemon Breath of the Wild. And there's one other thing that I'm going to talk about at the very end of this video that 100% solidifies that ideal. But overall, taking a look at the mechanic, I'm very impressed with it. I'm happy that it turned out the way it did. And while I'm a little disappointed that other Pokemon aren't going to be able to do what these Pokemon are capable of, it's good to know that we have access to it whenever we want it, whenever we need it. And all at the luxury of not needing to sacrifice the space on the team as well as their moveset, so it kind of works out for everybody. Next on the agenda right now, we're gonna sit down and talk about some of these characters that they introduced, because golly, what a cast. Like I said right from the get-go, Nintendo, Pokemon, y'all need to ease up on some of these designs, bro, because how are you gonna expect me not to simp when you got characters that look like this? Come on! Anywhoozaloozits, they introduced these people called Wardens, and the first person that they showed off with this title was Mai. She kind of reminds me of Marnie in a way. She seems very to herself but easy to talk to, but she also seems a little more condescending though. I also don't know who she's an ancestor of, but she does have a Munchlax for a partner, so maybe that gives some kind of insight to something. Maybe somebody could do that research and let me know, because I literally have absolutely no idea who she could be related to. It could be an anomaly of different people. All I know is there ain't no way somebody didn't take her, wife her up, and turn her into somebody's grandma. Ain't no way, homie. Ain't no way. I have no doubt in my mind that after I get to meet her and actually get to know her and understand her character, she is probably going to be one of my favorite characters in the entirety of the Pokemon series. I promise you, Chief, because that's how it always works with this kind of thing. After that, they introduced us to somebody named Iscan. He's completely introverted, he really does his own thing, and he looks completely anxiety-ridden. Sudden appearances absolutely shock him? Yeah, I felt that one in my soul, homie. I know that I'm going to end up enjoying his presence a lot, and because he's so introverted and not really wanting to talk to people, I get the impression that he's actually not a pushover. It's one of those things where you gotta understand, this man became a warden for a reason, so he's probably packing a hell of a team. Maybe, I'm not really sure, but he got the title of warden and we don't, so that's just a guess, man. Next along, they introduced us to Warden Leon, who is very obviously the ancestor of the Nuzlocke destroyer himself, Clay, from 5th Gen. You know, the one in the gym in the town with the best theme in all of black and white. I know you know what I'm talking about. His hat very clearly gave him away because that hat was obviously passed down from generation to generation, which is why it looks exactly the same as Clay's. Don't know how it's not beat up in the slightest. They must take good care of that thing, protecting it with their very lives, but it is what it is. Cool, awesome. Now he stands out from the rest of the Wardens because he's obviously extremely young in comparison to the others. Although on the lowest key, I think it would be super funny if he was actually the oldest, but he was just really short. That would be so funny. That is now my headcanon. Game Freak, you have the power. Please consider. In any case, he's probably really young, but he's also a warden because he's a baller in battle. When you take a look at the characters that are in charge of these people, there is no way that they would just hand out that title willy-nilly, so I have no doubt in my mind that just as much as Iscan, Leon here is most definitely a strategic master in battle. Or at least he probably is in their eyes. To us, he's obviously just another kind of stepping stone, but anyway, we should probably move on from that. And then they finally decided to go ahead and reveal my other favorite warden, Azuru. She has an adorable design, a very funny personality, and she seemed very determined in whatever she was doing. She is absolutely without a doubt the ancestor of Mars. You remember Mars, right? You know, the one that kidnapped that little girl's dad at the Valley Windworks? Yeah, that's probably like her great-great-grandmother or something crazy. I promise you that if we're streaming this, every time Azuru comes up on screen, you're going to see the biggest smile on my face. She looks like so much fun, and I'm very excited to know her cute ass. So that just about does it for all of the introductions to the Wardens, but something that I was thinking about is the fact that these people most likely have Pokemon. The title of Warden is something pretty damn hefty for somebody that wouldn't own a Pokemon, right? The only person that they actually showed with a Pokemon was mine, but I have no doubt in my mind that the other Wardens also have their own style of partner Pokemon. And she even said that she battles. The other Wardens probably do too, we just haven't seen them do it yet. But now, because of I'm kind of at ease, because now I'm very confident in the fact that there's most definitely other quote-unquote trainers in the Hisui region that are just kind of around. Maybe there's some like Mai who don't use Pokeballs, maybe there are others that have access to Pokeballs, who knows? But I know for certain that people are making connections with Pokemon and becoming partners with them with or without Pokeballs. I could be totally wrong on this, but on the off chance that I'm right, I'm totally content with that idea. So then we move on to what's most definitely the most important part of this trailer, Jubilife City. Obviously, since it's the only town that they've shown us so far for some weird reason, it goes to show that we're most likely going to be spending a lot of time here. So they showed off a lot of the facilities that we have access to. First, they showed off the shop and the crafting shop, which is dope, awesome, cool, great. Frankly, I would be pretty damn pissed if this wasn't here, considering the fact that we're going to be spending a lot of time in this city, so it would be really weird not to have one of the most important features in an RPG not inside the main town. That would just be really awkward and frustrating. But hey, whatever, I'm just glad that there's really nothing to be worried about on that front. Next along, they showed us the PC access. There's just a moment in there where you can see the trainer swapping out the Pokemon from their party with the Pokemon in their PC. Here's the thing though, I don't think that the quote-unquote PC this time around is an actual computer. It could be for reasons that I will again talk about at the very end of this video. But you can see from the faded background that the trainer isn't standing in front of some kind of computer. That's a person that they're talking to. So I can only assume that this is like some kind of daycare situation where they take care of any Pokemon that you capture and they get immediately sent over there when you capture extra Pokemon, and you could just go back and swap them out at your leisure. Okay, cool. Works like a basic PC, I guess, but a daycare now. Whatever. As long as I've got somewhere to stash a full box of Shinx, I think we're all happy. Also, something that somebody noticed on Twitter was that on the right-hand side of any Pokemon that you're checking, there's these numbers. Not the like stats of the Pokemon or anything like that, like their health, but just little numbers. It could just be an Eevee-Ivy situation, considering we don't have any kind of technology, apparently, to check that kind of thing, so maybe that's what that is, but I really can't say for sure. They look like some kind of stats with some kind of number. That's all I know, and that's where I'm gonna leave it at because I just don't know yet. Now moving on to another piece of Jubilife City where we're gonna be spending an absurd amount of time, there is an entire ass clothing store. First off, we can pay for these things. You could see in the corner that when you're putting different outfits and stuff like that on your character, that we have to pay for those outfits. If that alone doesn't imply that there's going to be more trainer battles, then I really don't know what is, because why is there a currency like that, and where are we getting it from? There's gotta be trainer battles. Or I guess theoretically it could just be payment from side quests or from our bosses or whatever, but I'd like to think that there's more than that. Getting back on topic though, we can customize our trainers however we want. There's literally a screen where you can see a multitude of different crazy outfits for these characters. And also, we can change our skin tones. I legit do not remember seeing that option from literally any of the previous trailers so far, but it is very good to know that we have that ability. So, thank God, I can play as a black man again. It's really good to know that Game Freak has come to understand that character customization is now a crucial part of the Pokemon series. Moving forward with the Pokemon series, I would be shocked as hell if they made a game that didn't have this mechanic, especially for the mainline games. But you already know your boy's trying to earn as much money as possible so he can swag the hell up, you know what I'm talking about, baby? Anyway, long story short, really looking forward to abusing that. And finally, one of the last things that they actually showed off was that there's a picture room where you could take pictures with your Pokemon. This was completely necessary. Thank you for this. I promise you, we are going to be looking fire in some of those pictures. Isn't that right, Shinx? But yeah, there's really not much more on that. We get a really cute little picture mode. Yay. Dope. So after that, they throw us back into the wild area, and now we're seeing a little bit more of the exploration and fighting the big red-eyed angry Pokemon and things like that. But the most important part of this section here is the introduction to our first noble Pokemon, as they're apparently called. They introduced us to our first ever noble frenzied Pokemon Cleaver, who we all instantly deducted was a part of the Scyther line. Now the feedback on this Pokemon's design was actually really interesting. I saw that a lot of people weren't too crazy about its design, but quite honestly, I love the damn thing and I think I'm gonna put it on my team instantly. Yeah, sure, you can come to the conclusion that it looks kind of ridiculous, it has axes for hands, okay, whatever. But can you sit there and really say with your entire chest that this Pokemon has a more ridiculous design than a ring of keys or a multitude of gears? Come on now, bro. As far as Pokemon designs go, I think this is definitely very far from one of their more ridiculous ones. And come on now, going from Scizor to Kleavor? That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Now what I'm trying to deduce right now is exactly how different these frenzied noble Pokemon are from the rampaging out of control red-eyed Pokemon. Like, do they all shine and glow like that or what? Like, what's up with that? I want to know. Hell, maybe that's what a lot of these other variants of the Hisuian region are, just noble frenzied Pokemon that we turn into friends that we can utilize on our journey. Kleavor is absolutely a cutter. They showed that off right from the get-go in the trailer, so most likely we'll befriend that Pokemon and we'll be able to use it to cut down any trees or other big things in our path most likely. I think that's a very valid guess. Hey, I could be wrong, but it doesn't really matter to me. Either way, Kleavor's going right on my team as soon as I'm able to put him there. Anyway, after the glow goes away and they actually introduce us to the design of Cleavor, the trailer just suddenly ends. Like, that's just it. They said, alright, cap it off with Cleavor and we're done. And they just threw in the outro and the release date again. So, okay, cool, awesome. I guess that's just it for now. For the most part, this was absolutely a divine trailer. They gave us a lot of information and an awesome cast of characters and even a brand new Pokemon and some great mechanics. I'm absolutely loving the way that this game is turning out, and every day that we get closer, I'm even more impatient. Now, there's one thing that I kind of want to talk about that I don't recall them showing in the trailer. I know that there's a screenshot going around and an actual official artwork of it going around, and we kind of need to talk about it now because this is where it was introduced. In one of the screenshots, we can see that the trainer is clearly holding up an Arceus phone. It's a straight up phone. A smartphone at that. Like touchscreen and everything. Now, I'm no tech whiz or anything like that, but I kinda doubt that Arceus is our next Steve Jobs here. That does not make any sense, bro. If you pay attention throughout any of the gameplay sections in the trailer, you can see that it's just an option to use chilling in the bottom left corner. I'm assuming that this is how we're gonna access our teams and items and stuff like that, but it doesn't really make sense for this era. How did that happen? Now, remember what I said earlier in the video about this game feeling very reminiscent to that of Breath of the Wild? Yeah, this phone's existence completely solidifies that idea. Oh man, awesome, crazy looking technology in an era that's not supposed to have it yet. I wonder what they're gonna do there. Come on now, guys. I mean, whatever, dope. We're gonna use the phone and it looks kinda interesting, so we'll see what comes about that, but we'll have to talk about that another day because we really don't know what this thing's capabilities are yet or where it came from. So that just about does it for my little deep dive analysis breakdown, whatever you want to call it, of this most recent Pokemon Legends trailer. They've been very good on how they're showing things to us. We're getting more and more excited with each trailer, and I'm honestly looking forward to it now way more than ever. Now that we actually have a cast of characters, and we've seen a couple more mechanics and things like that, it's looking like it's turning out to be a really good game, and I can't wait to get my hands on it this upcoming January. They've been very easy when it comes to showing us the story stuff, and I really appreciate that. I miss going into games and not knowing the entire story already, so if they can keep that ease up, keep up this general drip feeding situation that they've got going on right now, I would be more than pleased because I want to go into this story as blind as possible. I want to know everything when I get my hands on it, not beforehand. But hey, whatever, I guess we'll talk about that another day. Or I guess for you guys possibly tomorrow because I've got another video lined up, so we'll see how things play out. But anyway, that just about does it for this video. I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions when it comes to this trailer. Do you think that this trailer was fire and you're more excited than ever, or did it turn you away even more for some reason? I want to know all your guys' thoughts in the comment section below because you already know that I'm going to be with you 100% in the way, okay? I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts, always. Please let me in there. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that because it do be skedaddle o'clock. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this. And with that, I'm outro. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!